All right, here we're looking at answering numbers 18, 19, and 20, just a review of growth and decay, and then also the explicit formula. So looking at this, you got to remember, you understand that y equals ab raised to the x. Remember, your a is your starting amount. Your b, remember for your b is always going to be 1, let me write it up here, 1 plus or minus your rate. That's always what your b is going to be. Your b is going to be that right there, 1 plus or minus your percentage, your rate, what it's growing or what it's decaying by. And then your x is just the amount of time that's gone by. The amount of time that's gone by. So let's take a look at how to answer some of these. So it says your starting amount at $100. So $100, we're starting there, starting amount, so we know that. And grows at a rate of 5%. So if it grows, again, it's another key word right there, it grows at a rate of 5%. So those are all key things here. How much money would you have after 8 years? So 8 years, that tells us some things. So we're going to plug it into our formula here. We have y equals our a, which is our starting amount, which in this case is 100. And then our b is our percentage, so 5%. Remember, is this a growth or decay though? And it tells us it's a growth. Because it's a growth, we do 1 plus our percent, which is 5% here. And then our exponent is how much time has gone by. So 8 years has gone by. So that essentially is how we set up our equation. So from there, I'm just going to plug this into my calculator. If you have a calculator at home, please use that or use Desmos, whatever you have to kind of help you out to get through this. So you're just going to put 100 parentheses 1 plus, I like to put 5%. Remember, we talked about how you can change percentage to a decimal. Just move it to the left twice. So that'd be actually 0.05. And then we raise it to the 8th power. So how much money do we have after 8 years? We have $147. I'll write this down, $147. And then let's write it to the nearest cent. So that 4 would be, that's 74 cents, but that 5 is going to round that 4 up to a 5 as well. So that's 75 cents. So that's how much money you would have after 8 years if it grows by 5% every year. All right, let's look at the next example here. It says you are skydiving at a height of 15,000 feet above sea level and losing elevation at a rate of 10% every minute. Okay, so we got some things here. We've got maybe our starting amount here. Our starting amount is 15,000. So we're skydiving 500 feet above sea level, so we're above the ground, right? We're in the air somewhere, so we're at 15,000. And you're losing elevation at a rate of 10%. So 10%, that's our percentage, and we're losing elevation. So that means we're declining, we're going down, and we're losing it every minute. Every minute's another key detail there. It says, what would your elevation be after 50 minutes? So let's use our formula. Y equals our starting amount, which we said was 15,000. And then it's going to be 1, is it 1 plus or 1 minus? And you'd be right if you're saying 1 minus because it says losing. 1 minus because it says losing. So it's 1 minus 10%. And then how much time has gone by? Well, it says 50 minutes, and it says 10% every minute. So 50 minutes, we can put 50 up there as the exponent. That is correct in that one. That is correct for this problem. So we're going to go back to our calculator. We're going to plug it in exactly the way it is. 15,000, 1 minus 10%. Remember, 10% as a decimal would just be 0.1. 0.1. Raised to the, and then that is a 50. Our exponent is, no, delete. We're going to put exponent is going to be 50. So that's exactly how it looks there. We're going to press enter. And it looks like we would be, we're just going to round to the nearest feet, round to the nearest foot. So it'd be 77 feet. So notice that 3 is not going to round, it's not going to round that 7 up. So that 3 actually just keeps that 7 the way it is. So our answer is just going to be 77 feet. that would be our answer for that problem, 77 feet. That's how you'd go about answering numbers 18 and 19. Number 20, we'll run through this pretty quick. We're looking at the explicit formula here. We're looking at A1, which is just our first term, our R, which to find our R, we just divide our second term divided by our first term. And then from there, n minus 1 is going to stay the same. So we have 3, 6, 12. So our first term here is 3. So our A1 is 3. Our R, we get by dividing our second term divided by our first term. So what is 6 divided by 3? 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So to set up that formula, it's A sub n equals, what's our A1? Our A1 here is 3. So we put 3 times our R, which our R we found to be is 2, and then just raise to the n minus 1. And you're done with that. Let's look at the last one here. Again, we're going to find our A1. So our A1 is just our first term. Our first term is the 5. It's good that you can kind of notice that a little more quickly. Our R is just our second term divided by our first term. So what is 25 divided by 5? And that would be 5. So we have an A1 of 5, and we're going up by a rate of 5. So when we write this down, A sub n equals our A1. Our A1 always goes first, which is 5, times our R. Our R here is also 5, and then it's raised to the n minus 1. N minus 1. And that would be your final answer. That's setting up your equation. Again, hopefully that helps. A lot of these videos hopefully should get you through the quiz. I'm hoping to see a lot of A's or 100s, or hopefully somewhere in that high B range. But if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to me. But I hope this helps you out, and I hope you do well in the quiz.